nothing against letting everybody do it, but you can only concentrate in one place. And I think they did disperse their energies. And it's important that there be a half dozen, perhaps more, but really good places. And I'm speaking, on behalf of a disadvantaged group, a certain kind of student in America who has longings, or philosophical longings, and that I think is being deprived of the atmosphere.
A very small group.
It's a very small group, but it's always very important in a society. That's not an elitist reflection. I don't say that defensively, but if one says a small group and one says an elite, most people aren't philosophic. They're too involved with other things. But it's very important that there be a broader vision somewhere, because that always, the marvelous thing about American society is you could really be almost anything you wanted to be, at least in thought. But what you needed to have was the idea of what you might be. And my sense of the impoverished curriculum is it's leaving anybody do what they want, but they have lost the alternatives, which would allow them to find out what they could really be if they haven't thrilled with Napoleon, or really for a vital moment thought of Socrates. Well, this is, again, use Tocquevillian language, a kind of dark place, horses with blinders on. That's the image that comes to my mind.
I totally approve of using Tocqueville's language. Absolutely, thoroughly approve of that. I don't necessarily want to interpret this in political terms, despite the question I asked before.
Oh, but I'll be glad to discuss that. It's just that I myself am completely astonished by the reaction to this book. And you see somebody who, I'm #1 on the bestseller list. It was not something it was never longed for, prayed for, imagined even.
So that it's meeting some very real need, certainly some intellectual need.
And you see, what I'm struck by is I thought that the passages that would be most impressive would be the descriptions of young people, descriptions of the effect of rock, the description of the effect of divorce on the minds of young students, the first chapter of the book. But what seems to be catching attention, at least what I can get from the reactions, is the second chapter, where I talk about the meaninglessness, the newness, and at the same time the meaninglessness of our language, the language of values.